Organic chemistry is the chemistry of hydrocarbons and their derivatives. So what are these hydrocarbons? These hydrocarbons are made up of hydrogen atoms and carbon atoms. If you look at these hydrocarbons, these are classified into two main categories, that are open chain hydrocarbons and closed chain hydrocarbons. These open chain hydrocarbons are further categorized into two groups, that are saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. So what are the saturated hydrocarbons? Whenever a carbon atom satisfies its tetravalency by single covalent bonds, these type of hydrocarbons are called saturated hydrocarbons, and these are named as alkane. When you look at this unsaturated hydrocarbons, you will notice the presence of either double bonds or the triple bonds. So wherever you notice the presence of double covalent bond in the hydrocarbons, these type of hydrocarbons are called alkene. And the presence of triple covalent bond, these are called alkyne. So we understood that the saturated hydrocarbons are the alkane, and alkene and alkyne are the unsaturated hydrocarbons having double and triple bonds respectively. Now, don't you feel happy just as we got the names given by our parents? And you will be quite more satisfied when you just have that and give the names to your lovable pets, right? So why don't let's have some fun by naming these organic compounds as well. By the way, these organic compounds, it follows a particular rule. Wherever you notice a presence of only one carbon atom, the name will be initiating with meth. And when there will be the presence of two carbon atoms, the name starts with eth. And if it is three carbon atom, the name is going to start with prop. Wherever it is four carbon atoms present in any hydrocarbon, the name will initiate with but. And if it is 5 carbon atom, that is pent. And if it is 6 carbon atom, the name is going to initiate with hex. If you notice the presence of 7 carbon atoms in any hydrocarbon, the name you have to initiate with hept. And if it is 8 carbon atom, it is oct. If it is 9, it is non. And when there are 10 carbon atoms in any hydrocarbons, the name will initiate with dec. So now let's learn about the saturated hydrocarbons. So alkanes are the saturated hydrocarbons. So when you consider only one carbon atom, here you notice that this one carbon atom is satisfying its tetravalency by single covalently bonding with 4 hydrogen atoms, and thereby the formula goes as C1H4. When you find the presence of 2 carbon atoms, you can see the first carbon atom is covalently linked with second carbon atom with single covalent bond, and these 2 carbon atoms are single covalently linked with the respective hydrogen atoms satisfying their tetravalencies. When you get 3 carbon atoms, you can see the first carbon atom satisfying its tetravalency by bonding with 3 hydrogen atoms and 1 carbon atom. Similarly, this second carbon atom is bonding with 2 hydrogen atoms and 2 carbon atoms satisfying its tetravalency. Likewise, the third carbon atom also satisfies this tetravalency by bonding with the second carbon atom and 3 other hydrogen atoms. When you look at the 4 carbon atoms, you can notice here the first carbon atom is single covalently linked with the second. Along with it is single covalently bonded with 3 hydrogen atoms satisfying its tetravalency. Likewise, the second hydrogen carbon atom and the third carbon atoms are linked with the respective side carbon atoms along with the hydrogen atoms for satisfying the tetravalency. This fourth carbon atom is linked with the third carbon atom and 3 other hydrogen atoms. If you look at these 5 carbon atoms, you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 carbon atoms are covalently linked with one another carbon atoms along with these hydrogen atoms, satisfying the tetravalency of this carbon atom. The most important thing, whenever you are writing this formula of this type of compounds, you have to satisfy the tetravalency of this carbon atoms. If you look at here, as these 4 carbon atoms are covalently linked with one another with the respective carbon atoms and the hydrogen atoms, now the formula goes as C4H10. Likewise, of 5 carbon atom, the formula goes as C5H12. So, you observe here, starting from 1 carbon atom to 5 carbon atom, if you notice here, you can see here it follows a particular trend like C1, H4, C2, H6. If it is 3, it is 8. If it is 4, it is 10. If it is 5, it is 12. Don't you think it follows a particular rule of this particular formula, that is Cn H2n plus 2. If you just substitute n is equal to 1 in this particular formula, you'll be getting the formula as CH4. If you substitute n is equal to 2 here, you are coming the formula as C2H6. Likewise, if you go for substituting 3 here, it becomes your C3H8. If it is 4, C4H10. And if it is 5, it goes like C5H12. Right? So this is what the general formula of alkanes. Likewise, if you want to find out the general formula of hexane, heptane, octane, nonane and decane, you can just substitute n is equal to 2 here and get the respective formulas. Well, now let's look at this naming of this compound. If you see, you saw here that whenever there is a 1 carbon atom, the name initiates with meth. And as you saw here, the presence of only single covalent bonds in these particular compounds. So the suffix here you will be having is ane, that is of alkane. So the name goes as, it will initiate with the meth having the suffix ane. So it is methane. If it is 2 carbon atoms, the name is ethane. If it is 3, the name will be propane. If it is 4, the name is butane. If it is 5, the name initiates with pent having the suffix ane, that is pentane. Let's do a small progress check. What is the name of alkane having 6 carbon atoms? Look at this table and you will get your answer. You know that if there is a 6 carbon atoms, the name will be initiating with your hex, H-E-X. And as in the question it has asked alkane, the suffix will be A-N-E, N. Hence the name goes as hexane. The option B is the correct answer of this particular question. What is the name of alkane having 6 carbon atoms? That is hexane. Let's go for another question. What is the formula of alkane having 4 carbon atoms? This one also you can detect by using this general formula CnH2n plus 2. Just substitute n is equal to 4 here. So you'll be having C4H10. So when you come to this naming of this particular compound, you know if there is a 4 carbon atom, the name is going to initiate with but, and it is the alkane. So the suffix will be ane, right? Hence the name goes as butane. So now you got the answer of this question. what is the formula of alkane having 4 carbon atoms? The answer is C4H10. Come to this question. What is the formula and name of this compound? Just count the number of carbon atoms present here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 carbon atoms. So here if you look at this hydrogen atoms, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 5 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen atoms. So the formula goes as C5H12. So the formula is C5H12, and as in the question, it has asked the name of this compound also. So you know, if it is 5 carbon atom, the name will initiate with pent. And you can observe here in this question the presence of only single covalent bonds. So the suffix will be ANE, and hence the name of this compound goes as pent-N. 5 carbon atom initiates with pent, and only presence of single covalent bonds in this particular hydrocarbon. So ANE, the name goes as pentane.